Greetings. Did you enjoy my last reading of the Elves' origin? Thank you. This time, I will be talking about Oxyotl, famously known as He That Hunts Unseen, is a legendary and much-feared chameleon skink. The greatest of his kind, Oxyotl is the last of the ancient chameleon hunter-warrior race, the famed guards of the temple city of Parhuix, then the greatest of all the temple city of the lizardmen empire, under the rule of the slan mage priest Lord Pokaxalan. Oxyotl was alive when chaos first came to the Warhammer world. The destruction of Parhuix hurled Oxyotl into the realm of chaos, where time flows in strange ways. When Oxyotl finally returned to the Warhammer world, 7 millennia had passed and the lizardmen's realm had fallen low. Since his return from the realm of chaos, Oxyotl has waged a war of revenge against the fell powers. How the chameleon skink detects the presence of the dark god's minions is unknown, yet time after time, the demons arrive to find Oxyotl already ensconced nearby, a hidden nuisance that always finds a way to thwart their immortal plans. In the beginning of times, the Old Ones created a handful of chameleon skink. Of these, Oxyotl became its leader and assigned to guard the temple city of Parhuix, then the largest and greatest of the lizardmen temple city, located in the northern border of Lustria. When the Great Catastrophe occurred 7,000 years ago, the demonic legions burst forth at Zahutek in numbers beyond count. The lizardmen garrison could not have withheld against their onslaught, were it not for the timely arrival of Oxyotl, who arrived leading several bands of chameleon skinks and appeared just as the defenders were beginning to collapse. From atop the uppermost ruins of that once fabled temple city, Oxyotl and his well-camouflaged troops rained down showers of poison darts that turned back every enemy breakthrough. So great was Oxyotl bands, that for a time, Zahutek held firm against the forces of chaos. Oxyotl then moved to relieve the siege of Oxyotl, located on the Isthmus of Parhuix. During the height of the siege, however, Oxyotl left the fighting, for he senses something amiss brewing. He made his way to the long-corrupted spawning pool known as the Pit of Sorrows, and in there, secreted in the ruins of that once sacred site, he met Sarariador the Shimmering, a greater demon of Tzeentch, materializing itself into the mortal world. It was Sarariador's intention to open a rift inside Oxyotl, to allow for spawning of separate demon hosts to lend their weight to the attack against Oxyotl in two-pronged ways. Yet the greater demon found only death in a hail of barbed darts, and he fell with his vile ritual incomplete. As the war rages on, Oxyotl and his kin mounted bold ambushes against the hordes, relieving sieges and battles one after another. Yet his small forces were eventually forced to retreat within the sacred walls of the temple city of Parhuix, where the chaos onslaught were the greatest. The lizardmen defense shrank. The magical barriers protecting the temple city crumbled. In a last effort for victory, the slan mage priest, Lord Pokaxalan, attempted to summon a nova blast of energy to banish the foe. However, he needed time to conjure the mystic forces to power the spell, and called upon his last surviving Saurus, Oxyotl and his chameleon skinks to protect him, buying precious moments while the ritual was completed. Alas, the fickle powers of chaos tricked Pokaxalan, and he tapped too deeply into the howling winds of magic. Colossal energies spiraled out of control, ripping holes in the fabric of reality. The slan and his last protectors were sucked into the realm of chaos. Parhuix aged millennia in scant seconds, large portions of the city, along with all its inhabitants, crumbled to dust. Oxyotl, having been sucked into the realm of chaos, awoke to find himself in a living nightmare. He was surrounded by all manner of demons, many of which were feeding on the sprawling entrails of his lord. He was alone, in a land of living shadows, untruths and impossibilities. Luckily, his innate ability to blend in remained effective, despite the unnatural surroundings. Oxyotl was all but invisible, unnoticed by the creatures of that realm, although they detected him after a time. He survived the way he did in the jungle, by instincts and cunning. Oxyotl covered his scent against the demonic hounds that tracked him by daubing himself in the blood of his pursuers. He ambushed mystic sentinels that lusted for his cold blood, and he willed himself to resist all temptations. The passage of time flows strangely within the realm of chaos. A year may pass in that twisted unreality whilst centuries pass in the real world. Now, in a timeless torture, Oxyotl was forced to exist in the full horror of chaos. He glimpsed firsthand the fate of all the races of the world should the fight against chaos falter, and their planet be overtaken by the dark gods. At last, after trials almost beyond enduring, Oxyotl found a path back to Lustria. He passed through fell places that he cannot recount to others or even himself for fear of going mad. He alone has discovered, and walked through the fabled lost city of the Old Ones, yet he tells no tales. Upon his return to Lustria, over 7,000 years had passed, and the lizardmen's realm had fallen low, while the lesser races had spread like plagues, portents of demons returning and war eternal abound. Indeed, Oxyotl's own return is regarded as one such omen. It is unknown how Oxyotl escaped the realm of chaos, for he dares not speak of it and no slan will read his mind, lest the taint of chaos remain within him. Yet Oxyotl has gathered others of his recently spawned kind, the chameleon skink, long thought to be extinct, and resumed the hunt, mustering his strength against the return of the hated foe. Thank you. That's conclude today's reading. Please let me know your thought in the comment sections below.